We're live.
We're live. That was really good timing.
Yeah, let's get the chat room up here. Let's get the sidebar, see if anyone else snuck in. I don't see Rose.
All right, it's time for roll call. Meter.
Yes, use the meter. Exactly.
There it is.
Oh, Brett snuck in. Good
All right,
timing,
we've
Brett.
got Brett and Kevin and Bruce and Marty and Frank and Mike and John and Sandy and Steve and Zoe. And I must show this. If anybody was here, is that focusing?
Let me just go on you, full Allison.
That is bacon flavored, what is it? Premium fragrance oil. I'm afraid I don't know what to do with this, but Kevin sent it to me after last week.
That's a riot.
So, I mean, I can open it.
Ooh, John. John's making me hungry.
Portobello mushrooms. Now, I'm talking about bacon right now, but am I supposed to like dab this behind my ear to get Steve interested? I mean, what am I supposed to do with premium fragrance oil?
Maybe you put it in one of those fragrance things that you put the stick in and it wafts throughout the room, or maybe those things you plug into the bathroom or for scents, fragrances.
Lindsay says she has an infusing thing, and I should bring it down to their house next weekend and play with it there. Oh, have you ever heard Kevin offer to send me something and I have to yell at him and say no? That's because he really means it. He really will. I mean, that's why I have a meat grinder on my mantle behind me, right?
Yep.
You need a full report on anything you do with it. And he wanted to send actual sausage, and I yelled no. He wanted to send us moonshine across county state lines. I said no, so we had to fly out there to get it. Don't make me fly
Two
out
grinders,
there, Kevin.
right? A mini grinder and a plastic lighter one and a more
That's
heavy
right.
duty.
I actually I've been shrinking the number of things up there, and the cheese from Jill. Thank you. Why did Jill's name escape me? The cheese and the plastic grinder have been taken down, I'm afraid. They've been up there for quite a number of years. I'm kind of mixing it up a little bit there. So
the cheese did take up quite a lot. Plus, It was starting to smell.
Who's that? Yeah, where is Jill? Somebody should check on her. All right, you think I should start the show?
I think so.
All righty. This is going to be a long show, but a short live show. All right. Here we go. Oh, I never thought of actually using it, Bruce. The apple cushion is still on the bed. Yes. All right, here we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, February 4th, 2024, and this is show number 978. All right, we have lots of chit-chat. I'm doing it. Thank you, Kevin. We have 2 chit-chats. Let's see, that's the main one. There we go. I want 785 first. We have not one, but 2 chit-chat across the ponds this week, and they sort of sound related, and in a way they are. The first one is a stretch to the word light for Chit Chat Across the Pond. I'd kind of call it more like a crossover episode of Chit Chat Across the Pond Light and Programming by Stealth. Helma Vanderlinden joins me to tell the story of how she has successfully started the new version of Bart's fabulous XKPassWD password generation service to move to JavaScript. You see, xkpasswd.net was written in Perl ages ago, and it depends on very old and outdated libraries. Bart spent many months teaching the Programming by Stealth students the tools that we and he would need in order to port the code over to JavaScript. His plan all along was to have the students help him make the new version of XKPassWD a reality. It turns out that Helma is an extraordinary student and has done most of the work to make it a minimal viable product already, all without Bart's help. In the conversation that we have in Chit Chat Across the Pond, we'll talk about how she did this without, and we try not to get too nerdy. It's some nerdy, but not too nerdy. If you'd like to give the very beta version of the new tool a try without knowing any coding at all, I have a link in the show notes to it. And in a few days, Bart is going to have it up in a very nice URL. It will be at beta.xkpastwd.net. So perhaps by the time you see this, you'll be able to try out the beta. Now, the beta version is not feature complete, but it does allow you to create between 1 and 10 passwords that use the default preset from the original XKPassWD. You can't choose different presets yet, and you can't make customized passwords, but at least it does create long, strong, memorable, and typable passwords, and it's really pretty. We end the call with a call. No, we don't end the call with the call. We end. At the end of this episode, we put out the call for others to come help work on the code. We have a GitHub repo, and there's a link in the show notes to that. If you have or create a GitHub account, you can contribute to the project. If you don't have programming skills, but you do have feature requests, that counts as contributing if you use the Issues tab for the GitHub project to post your feature request. Helma is great fun, and we had a blast talking about what she's accomplished, so I think you'll enjoy the conversation no matter how nerdy you might be. Ian and Lindsay. Okay, Lindsay, I bet Lindsay knows how to...
I don't think Lindsay actually here. She may have popped in for a moment and then popped out.
She's been having trouble ending up in the right channel, she said, when she's using her phone. Because remember last week she was here, but she couldn't talk? She could hear us, but she couldn't talk. Because I think she ended up in the wrong one.
I don't see her.
Okay. Maybe she'll be back. Somebody ask her how to make chicken in the oven. Oh, no. Chapter mark. Thank you, Kevin. And all right. I hope I don't run out of credits at Auphonic. I'll have done 3 more than an hour episodes in 3 days.
Uh-oh.
Well, we don't really need a recipe.
Yeah, the chicken's been prepared. It just needs to be heated.
Marinated.
I'm going to do the barbecue.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of like seeing the rain drip on the hot barbecue, on the lid, sizzles.
Okay, I don't want to hear any complaining about how wet you're getting, and I want you dripping all over the house.
I got my new rain jacket.
You do, but you don't have rain boots. You're going to be walking in and out, all covered with water.
I'll put a towel down.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Nope. In our second Chit Chat Across the Pond, it's a traditional programming by stealth. And Bart Buchatz teaches us how to use JQ as a programming language this time. Before we get into the new stuff, Bart takes us through his solution to the challenge, and I have to say, I was pretty chuffed when he said that my solution to the extra credit portion was more elegant than his. To be fair, it did take a buddy programming session with him for me to get the first part of the challenge figured out, but I excelled at the extra credit. When we get into the programming language part of the lesson, there were so many times that I said, oh man, I needed to know this last week. But I think finding out these options are available after understanding the problems they solve was a fantastic way to do it. We learned how to run JQ filters from files, which means no more looking at our filters all this big, long, giant command all in one line. We can put in line feeds and indents into our filters. We can even make comments to make them more readable. We can, Bart tells us about a couple of handy plugins for VS Code that gives us syntax highlighting, and that's going to be swell. My favorite thing I learned, though, was how to add debugging to our filters. This one is a life changer. We explore a few functions for looking at data filters that will also make our life easier. We wrap up with an introduction to JQ variables, which it's really pretty funny. The developers of JQ really don't want you to use variables. It's very begrudging that they let you know about the ones that they do have. Anyway, you can find this episode of Chit Chat Across the Pond and the previous one in your podcatcher of choice. This one, you can find it under Programming by Stealth as well as under Chit Chat Across the Pond. The first one, Chit Chat Across the Pond Lite. Boy, that's confusing. Who named all this stuff?
I think her name is Podfeet.
An air fryer.
Yeah, air fryers can be pretty cool. Remember when Chris did the chicken wings in the air fryer?
I still dream about those chicken wings.
Those are great.
Yeah. But he said he was making chicken wings when we came over, and we didn't realize he meant just chicken wings. We walked in and there were chicken wings, and then there were chicken wings, and there were different kind of chicken wings, and then more chicken wings and more chicken. We just ate chicken wings all night. There was nothing else, just chicken wings, and it was
different types.
spectacular. Oh yeah, they were all different kinds. So it was delicious. Nope, not even celery. There was different kinds of sauces for the chicken wings. Let's see. All right, let's get started and listen to one of the interviews from CES. Get my files up here. I did a really cool article for the show and then realized I didn't need it for this week's show. I've been panicking, running around getting it ready. There we go. Oh, there's a good chicken breast thing there on the stove. All right, let's see how this sounds. To one of the interviews from CES. I have a Cricut at home, which it's hard to explain what it is, but my new friend, Natasha Adorable, is going to tell us all about what a Cricut is. I do want to say that my daughter and daughter-in-law are both amazing at all the crazy things. My friend Pat does all these crazy things, and I got to admit, I've done like a t-shirt, and I've got my own logo on my car, and I haven't done much else. But Natasha's going to explain to us what a Cricut is and then about their newest product.
Awesome. So a Cricut is a smart cutting machine, and we have lots of different models depending on what you want to make, but you can cut everything from vinyl, from stickers, from iron-on, so you can really personalize and make anything. I know that sounds crazy, but like you mentioned your car decals, you can make car decals, tumbler decals, personalized birthday cards. This is great for events like bachelorette parties, birthday parties, anything you can think of in your mind, you can go from idea to I did it.
So I think of it as it's like a printer,
yes,
but it's going to cut and it's going to print and it's going to make things more than a printer does.
Correct. Instead of ink, we have different types of blades that can score, that can cut different types of materials so that you can put it together and make something really personalized.
Right, right. But it can also print.
It doesn't.
Like a pen
yes.
inking.
Yes, it can take pens, markers, so you can personalize and write. You can also take inkjet, or like if you want to make full colored stickers, you can use your inkjet printer, and we have different materials so you can make waterproof stickers.
Oh wow, that's cool. So the unit that I have is pretty big. It's maybe 18 inches across. It's pretty big, pretty hefty to pick out. But today you're talking about the Cricut Joy Extra, correct?
Yes, Cricut Joy Extra is the newest smart cutting machine that we have launched. I love this machine. I love them all, but this one is just so practical because you can cut over 200 materials on this machine.
It's tiny. Describe how big that is. It's like a loaf of bread, maybe.
This is 8.5 inches wide, so it fits your standard, copy paper, that type size of paper. But what I love about it is how portable it is. You can see I'm holding it with one hand. So when I need to make something and I maybe don't have a craft room, I just have a kitchen table, I can pull this out, whip up whatever I need to make, and then put it away because it's such a nice size. And you can still make big things. If I wanted to make a big t-shirt, a decal for a t-shirt, you can still make really great things with this machine.
You might not make a wall poster with it, but that's not what we're really making most of the time, right?
Yeah.
So the Cricut Extra, it's XTRA, correct?
XTRA, that's right.
And what's your price point on this?
This is $199.
Oh wow, so it's a really affordable entry point as well.
Yeah.
I like that. Now, I'm going to say what Natasha doesn't want me to say is It's addictive. I mean, I don't actually use mine very much, like I said, but I have all of these cool little tools. I've got things to score the paper and to bend the paper, and little things to pick the stickers apart, and it's so fun. All the little accessories.
Therapeutic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My grandson actually likes to be the picker. He likes to sit there and pick it off.
It's
and
fun.
He really enjoys it. Yeah,
it's just fun. So it's a fun process, and at the same time, you're coming out with really professional results, and it's a fun process.
Very, very cool. So this is the Cricut Cricut Joy Extra. Gonna get it right yet. And is this available today?
It is available today. You can go on Cricut.com. You can find us at most major retailers like Walmart and Target, Michael's and Joann's. So really accessible.
Oh yeah, don't go to Joann's or Michael's. Just don't do it. You walk in and just like, I need all of this stuff.
It tells you what you need.
Yeah. The boxes, all the accessories. It's such a fun store. So Cricut, for anybody who doesn't already know, is spelled Cricut.
That's right.
All right. Thank you very much, Natasha. This is great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I listened to the whole thing. I was about to repeat most of that. I wrote it in the show notes that I was going to say, don't do this. $100 on supplies? Man, I probably spent $100. Well, Steve spent $100, more than $100 on just buying me the accessories that he bought with it for Christmas. So, all right.
You even, as I recall, you printed logos. I guess they would be vinyl application stickers that we put on our cars, on our back windshield, the back window of our cars. You have your pod feet, and I have my Star Trek logo.
Yeah, I actually did mention that in the review.
Cool.
But yeah, I haven't done my problem is I'm just not very inventive at thinking up something to do.
Idea to I did it.
I know. So you got to have an idea.
Right. It does kind of depends. But there are there are big libraries you can go to, right? And
well, there's
start
libraries
with other
of
people's ideas.
Yeah, and there's videos you can watch, and I just I don't know why. All right, let's see. Okay, here we go. It's such a fun store. So Cricut, for anybody who doesn't already know, is spelled Cricut.
That's right.
All right. Thank you very much, Natasha. This is great.
Yeah.
Well, you know I love home automation. So when we interviewed LiftMaster, which is a Chamberlain company, at CES in 2020 about their MyQ Homebridge Hub with HomeKit for garage doors, we had to jump on it. We had a LiftMaster garage door opener already, so we purchased the MyQ Homebridge Hub just to get HomeKit compatibility. Eventually, they started selling a garage door opener that included it, the MyQ Homebridge internally, but we purposely bought this Homebridge Hub just to get this HomeKit compatibility. Now, many of the home automation devices that I've bought are in the life-changing category, but having a smart garage door opener, it doesn't really quite make that cut for me. It's nice, but it's not life-changing. It's nice that it gives us alerts if we've left it open for too long, and I like to get an alert on my phone when Steve comes home with coffee so Tesla and I can greet him at the door. When I'm coming home from my walk, I often decide to use my leaf blower to blow off the driveway. It's tedious to walk into the house and then turn around and just go back out the garage to open it. I named our garage door Sesame, and I love to say, "Hey, yes, lady, open Sesame." I know that's silly, but I got the idea after Bart named his automations for his Christmas tree lights Merry Christmas to turn them on and Bah Humbug to turn them off. Now, I did have someone ask me after they saw the article I wrote on this subject, they said, "Why didn't you name it Open the Pod Bay Doors?" I'll tell you why. It's because Pat Dengler already did that, so I had to choose something else. Anyway, one day in December, I asked the S-Lady to open Sesame and nothing happened. I opened HomeKit on my phone and Sesame was grayed out. I was annoyed, but it wasn't the first time something got wonky with HomeKit because wonky is pretty much HomeKit's middle name. I sighed and I procrastinated for a few days about trying to figure out what was wrong with Sesame. And then I heard on several podcasts that this Chamberlain group had purposely disabled HomeKit, Home Assistant, and other third-party apps in their MyQ Assistant. According to sources like 9to5Mac, the purpose of disabling HomeKit access was to make us use the MyQ app so we would have to see their ads. I don't know if that's their motivation, but it's a logical supposition. I personally think this is unconscionable. The entire purpose for the MyQ Homebridge that I bought was to buy this capability, and they summarily disabled the one thing this device does. I certainly wouldn't buy another product from LiftMaster or Chamberlain, and I'd never recommend them to anyone after this. I started pursuing alternatives to MyQ, and I quickly found the Meros Smart Garage Door Opener Remote Control MSG 100. I'm a big fan of Meros, as you probably know, especially their inexpensive outlet switches, so they were my first choice. However, in digging through the user manual for the Meros opener, which by the way is really hard to find, I saw the door open-close sensors, and they look very small. We had a bad experience with extreme fiddliness years ago trying to place small sensors from Wise on our garage door, so we weren't excited about this Meros design. I have also started to hear from some listeners about intermittent problems with their Meros devices. I've had good success with the switches, but, so it's not enough to make me turn away from Meros, but I knew I would never be able to convince Steve to deal with even potentially fiddly sensors on the garage door. Pat Dengler, who I mentioned earlier, who's a good friend and Apple certified consultant, she found another option called Tailwind IQ3 Pro from GoTailwind.com. And that promised to bring HomeKit compatibility. I've gone pretty far without messing up a line. And that promised to bring HomeKit compatibility to existing garage door openers for only $90. She bought a Tailwind IQ3 Pro, and Steve agreed to help her install it. Now, my motivation in encouraging this collaboration was that if Steve could see how it worked and understood the complexity of the installation, maybe we could have one too. Luckily, the installation at Pat's house was a success, and Steve bought one for our home. I'm not going to go through all of the nitty-gritty of how to figure out which Tailwind IQ3 is compatible with your garage door, or even the details of how to do the installation. The first reason is it's a bit complex to figure out which one to buy, and they have really good instructions online, and they have a great installation video. So let's talk, though, about the parts, about how it works, because it's really rather clever. In the box, you get several separate parts. Garage doors usually run on a track shaped like a J. The Tailwind IQ3 comes with a sensor that easily mounts to the J-track. You simply squeeze it on and then tighten a little screw. With the garage door closed, you align a magnet on another bracket right across from the sensor. The magnet is on a big metal plate that you double back tape to the door. The sensor magnet arrangement is what will tell the IQ3 whether the door is open or closed, and the alignment is very forgiving because these pieces are really big, so it's not hard at all. Now let's talk about the controller. This is a small black box with a surprisingly delightful velvety interface surface. Like you'd really like to hold this in your hand, except it's just going to be stuck in your garage door covered with spiders and everything. I don't know why they made it so nice. But anyway, this controller may or may not end up being plugged into your existing garage door, depending on what you have. When you buy the Tailwind IQ3, you get asked two odd questions. They ask you whether you have a little yellow Learn button on your existing Chamberlain or LiftMaster or Craftsman opener. The answer was yes for us. We do have a yellow Learn button. If you have a Genie overhead door opener, you get a different question. Now, I promise not to get too nitty-gritty, but that little detail about the yellow button made a huge difference in the way the controller worked and how easy the installation turned out to be. If you do have a yellow Learn button, as we do, when they ship the IQ3 to you, they include a little remote. You know what old people like me call a clicker. Anyway, it's a more elegant version of the remotes you get with your normal garage door opener. The printed instructions tell you to download the Tailwind Smart app from the App Store, and it walks you through every step of the way in setting up your Tailwind IQ3. I mean, really, really good instructions. The one tricky bit of the installation is that you have to connect a couple of wires from this little remote to the controller. I'd seen this done, connecting wires like this before, but I hadn't actually ever done it myself because I have a pocket electrical engineer in the house. You simply twist the wire ends together, and then you screw on what's called a wire net. With Steve as my supervisor, he made sure I did the initial twist in the clockwise direction so the wire net would be tightening the twist, not unfurling it. We're now done with the electrician portion of our story. It was easy enough. I think even Bodie Grimm could pull this off. I'm awfully far into the story, and I haven't explained how this controller, clicker, sensor, and magnet contraption is actually going to work. You use the Learn button on the existing garage door opener to teach the garage door to recognize the codes sent by the clicker remote to open and close the door. This is just like you would teach any new normal remote or your car's built-in system so that it'll know the code. Just as a test, we made sure that both of our cars could still open the garage door after we taught it to learn about the Tailwind remote. Once that 15-second procedure is complete, the Tailwind app you've been following along with helps you connect the IQ3 controller to your Wi-Fi network. It tells you to use 2.4 gigahertz, but it negotiated our Eero mesh network with a combined 5 and 2.4 gigahertz network without any issues. We didn't have to disable 5 gigahertz or any of that nonsense. It just connected just fine. Now at this point, the controller's on our Wi-Fi, the remote clicker knows the codes to send to the garage door, and the controller is connected to the sensor magnet setup via cable harness, so it knows when the garage door is open or closed. None of this ever gets connected to the garage door opener, at least for those of us with a yellow Learn button. Seriously, none of this is connected. It's nowhere near. Doesn't have to connect to it. So next it tells you to go outside into the driveway with your phone and the app running, and it gets your geolocation, and you adjust as necessary to get your exact address. I presume that this allows the IQ3 to know when you arrive home and open the garage door for you if you'd like to have that set up. I've not quite gotten my nerve to allow something like that because I picture somebody stealing my purse with my phone in it, which means they can drive my car, and then they have my license with my address on it, and now they can drive my house and the garage door will open for them. Well, I guess if they have my phone, my front door will open for them without needing my car, but anyway. Here's where my genius came into play in this whole plot. The instructions say to mount the controller to the garage door opener with double back tape. The instructions say to mount the controller to the garage door opener with double back tape and then run the very long but thin cable across the ceiling to the edge of the door and then around the door and down to the J-track mounted sensor. But it occurred to me that since we had to have the little clicker and our controller never gets plugged into the garage door opener at all, why did we need to mount it up in the ceiling and run that long cable? All the controller needs is power, and we happen to have an outlet right next to where we wanted to mount the sensor to the J-track. Since we didn't need to run the wire for that long distance, we probably could have cut the long wire and spliced it to be a lot shorter. Instead, Steve just put a hook into the wall and hung the steel coil wire and the clicker onto the hook. Then he mounted the controller to the wall right next to it and plugged it into power. The next step was to add the device to HomeKit. Within the Tailwind app, if you tap enough buttons in the right order, you come to a screen with the HomeKit code on it. In HomeKit, we tried to add the device by typing in the code, but it didn't work. Then Steve remembered that Pat had to do a firmware update to the Tailwind IQ3 before HomeKit worked. Using the Tailwind app, he asked for a firmware update, and it said, "I'm already up to date." But here's the weird thing. After asking for the firmware update that we didn't need, the device showed up in HomeKit when we asked it to add a device. So maybe you just have to tickle the firmware update screen? That's all that's required? I don't know. So Steve was the point person on this installation, so he created an account at Tailwind to control the door. In his app, we found a way for him to share the garage door opener with me. This sent me an invite via email, and then I could use the Tailwind app to control the door. However, as a shared user, I didn't have the ability to change any of the settings on the door. It worked fine, and if you're sharing your door with a neighbor or a friend or anyone else you don't want messing things up, that's a great way to go. However, I logged out and logged into Steve's account, so I have full control too. Now, my focus has been on HomeKit compatibility, but let me read you the Tailwind IQ3 compatibility statement. Works with Apple HomeKit, I'm going to say the S lady, CarPlay via HomeKit, Android Auto, Google Home, the Google Assistant, Alexa, SmartThings, IFTTT, Home Assistant, Hubitat, Crestron, Control i4, and a local control API allowing you to create your own integrations. More integrations are coming soon. Yes, while others are reducing interoperability, we are adding it. They threw a little shade on the people at Chamberlain there, didn't they? While the Tailwind IQ3 fits into the category of like a hack, it's a hack in the good sense of the word. It's not using any janky technology. It's using our home's Wi-Fi and the built-in capability of the door opener to teach your remote to open the garage. And it's all done with HomeKit Blessing. I should mention that the Tailwind IQ3 can manage up to 3 doors with the same controller. So if you have multiple garages or maybe a gate in front of your garage, Tailwind has your back. I give a John F. Braun level fist shake to Chamberlain and a hooray to Tailwind for bringing back HomeKit to my garage so I can say, open sesame again. At the end of in the article, I'll leave you with Pat Dingler's affiliate link, which will give you 5% off your purchase at Tailwind. There we go. Save and add a chapter mark. Sure, why not? The rest is just going to be assembly. Wow, we're at 20 minutes already. It's going to be such a long show, Steve.
Yeah, how long are you thinking?
Bart's over an hour and 15. It's like an hour and 15 minutes.
Just security bits by itself.
Yeah.
Wow.
What would you think of Vision Aid going in next week?
Yeah, it's long. It's like 12 minutes, I think.
Yeah. Would you mind?
No.
All right.
I don't see a problem. Oh, there's a comment.
A comment on Tailwind?
On the blog post, yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Or wait, on which one?
I'm not Tailwind, Vision Aid.
Vision Aid? Okay. I actually cut something else that I wrote to... Okay. Shouldn't have saved like that. All right. Oh no, I need to get rid of Eye Disease Simulator from the title. It's a great interview. I don't want people to get bored. Okay, now we're going to go to Squeal. This is a good visual. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Too bad they didn't let me ride it around.
Yeah, they only had that one on display that I can see.
All right. Purchase at Tailwind.
If you like to ski, you know it's really hard to find time to get up to the mountains, or maybe you don't live where it snows. Perhaps you'd like to talk to the people at Squeal who have something really exciting for the people who like to ski. I'm talking to Joseph Daharel here from Squeal. What is this product we're looking at here?
Thank you. Yeah, it's the world's first all-terrain electric ski. So it's born from a passion for skiing and engineering expertise, and we spent like the last 5 years to developing a product that redefine the boundaries of mobility.
So this is a video and audio podcast. I'm going to describe what we're looking at. They look like giant roller skates, but
exactly.
it's 2 flat platforms with wheels, small wheels at either end, and then a clamp that clamps your foot into it. We've got lights on the front and the back. And you're saying this is an electric ski.
Exactly. I know it's like a word, but we have like a center of gravity very lower than a rollerblade. So we have like very stable when you use it. We have like one engine in each wheel, so it's like very powerful. You can go up to 50 miles per hour.
How fast? 50 miles per hour.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow.
The idea is not to go as fast, but we need a lot of couple to go on the sand, on the mountain, because we love to use it in the beach. You know, it's like a sensation of freedom, just really amazing.
So how does it give you the sensation of skiing that's different, that's somehow different than rollerblading?
It's the first pattern that we create, like a front pivot system, which faithfully reproduces the same feel as traditional skiing. So
he's turning the wheel and it's kind of rotating in a lot of
Exactly.
different positions.
you know exactly with the real ski, so you have just to curve, but for the acceleration on the brake, you have the handle in the UN, so you accelerate, you brake.
Okay, so that's just a handheld thing.
Exactly.
That he's got in his hand that's got a...
This is a pattern too, because when you finish to use it, you just lock it, and you have a telescopic handle for an easy transport.
Okay, so I've got to describe that to the audio listeners. He was holding something, looks like a controller like for a VR headset.
Yeah.
It's kind of what it looks like, that loops around your hand, and he had a little dial where he's dialing the acceleration. And then he popped it in between the 2 skis and then pulled out a telescopic handle, and that's how you carry these.
Exactly.
Wow. How much do these weigh?
The cost?
The weight first.
The weight. Okay, it's 12.5 kilo, so it's just like 6 kilo in each feet. So it's exactly the same way of traditional skiing with the boots on the ski.
Oh, okay. So now the entire platform where your foot goes, that's got a lot of friction on it there, that pops out and that's the battery?
Exactly. You have one battery in each feet. You can travel 30 kilometers at a steady speed of 25 kilometers per hour.
Not in sand.
No, yeah, it's sand too, but depend of your weight.
Slow down. Yeah, right.
But we have a removable battery. So if you want to make more than 30 kilometers, you can change it in just 5 seconds.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we've watched while we've been doing the interview. One of the other gentlemen has just been popping the batteries in and out as we're talking. So, yeah, it's obviously very easy to do. When is this product expected to be available?
This morning. We launched the crowdfunding campaign this morning on Indiegogo, and we do like a 33% off for the 15 first backer. So
Okay.
I inviting everyone to support us.
And how much is it going to cost?
The real cost retailer is 2,400, but for now in the campaign crowdfunding, it's 1,600. So
Okay.
very big discount.
Get in early on Indiegogo, huh?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
where would people go to find out more about Squeal?
Tell me.
Where would people go to find out more about Squeal?
You can go on the website, on the social media.
What's the website?
The website's squeal.com.
So that's SKWHEEL.com.
Perfect.
All right, thank you very much. This was really interesting. It looks fun.
Thank you too.
I might cut that part where he asked. I have to ask him 3 times.
What's the website?
The website.
Well, twice.
He wasn't the first person. No, I actually sort of like I'd say, where do they go to find it? Let's see.
So
Okay.
very big discount.
Get in early on Indiegogo, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
So where would people go to find out more about Squeal?
Okay, that's the first time.
Tell me.
Where would people go to find out more about Squeal?
You can go on the website, on the social media.
But he doesn't tell me where it is, so I have to ask him a third one. Let's see.
Go, huh?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
where would people go to find out more about Squeal?
You can go on the website, on the social media.
What's the website?
The website's squeal.com.
That's why I said it was 3
Yeah.
times. Let's see, how's this sound?
Where would people go to find out more about Squeal?
You can go on the website, on the social media. Squeal.com.
I think I'll just get that social media piece out there too.
Yeah, just squeal.com. Simple.
It seemed like an easy question. He wasn't the first
Hey,
guy that didn't understand.
This is someone that speaks our language, not his first, and he's
I
doing
know,
pretty
I know.
good.
Oh, now I want waffles and beer.
Squeal.
Squeal.com.
There we
Go
go.
to find out more about Squeal.
Squeal.com.
Not quite. I need those two to touch each other. This doesn't snap to it like it should.
Squeal.
Squeal.com. Squeal.com.
So go to find out more about Squeal.
Squeal.com.
Hey, damn it, there's like a little...
You didn't cut when you did that last little piece.
Oh, I didn't? Oh, no wonder.
Still didn't.
Oh.
Whoa.
I my fingers know the keystrokes really well for screen flow, and I'm often doing the wrong keystroke. Okay, I tried to control
Muscle memory,
X.
but for the wrong app.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Okay, hang on. I just went to the end. So that's where the cursor is. Why is it not? Okay. Okay. Oh, I know what it is. I am doing the right keystroke, but I'm not capturing the right. There it is. If you don't have, if this thing isn't lit up when you do it, if you're not on the right one, it can look like you're selecting like up here, but it's not the right track.
Squeal.
Squeal.com.
Whew, finally. Okay, save. All right. Now it's time for some spam. Copy link. Rain's getting loud out there.
It looks fun.
Thank you too.
Well, I definitely shouldn't be allowed to ride something that lets me go 50 miles an hour on sand. Anyway, Richard Gunther is the co-host. I don't like that. I mean, I can do that after all.
It looks fun.
Thank you too.
Richard Gunther is the co-host of the Smart Home Show at smarthome.fm. Not only that, he's a great guy. And I'm not just saying that because he's the newest patron of the Podfeed podcast. He really is nice. He's in our Slack community at podfeed.com/Slack, contributing and asking questions. I've met Richard in real life, too. If you'd like to be nice like Richard, head over to podfeed.com/Patreon and select a dollar amount that fits in your family's budget to help support the work we do here. Thanks, Richard. Okay, now I got to do security bits music, not... Apparently I did programming by stealth music. And you know who caught it? It was Al.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he asked me why I did that. Oh, chapter mark. Now, yeah, copy link. And now we're going to bring in these mammoth episodes. This is going to take forever to upload. It is mammoth. Option T, Option T. Play Plink for Steve.
Blink,
Well done.
blink.
There we go. Nope. You need to get rid of that over there and get rid of that over there. And move Bart up here and eyeball it and then select some stuff. Nope. Select. There we go. Take these and put them here. Let's see how that listens. Support the work we do here. Thanks, Richard. Well, it's that time of the week again. It's time for Security Bits with Bart Bouchatz. Strangely enough, this bad news, good news stuff is one of my favorite times of the week.
Oh, cool. Well, I think we have quite the roller coaster this week. So strap in. Put down that little barrier thing that comes down on a roller coaster, whatever way you want to put it. But anyway, let's have some fun then.
All right, let me check this.
To basically turn on lost mode and lock the thief out of the device they stole.
That's a good point. You do. Okay. That sounds good. Let's see. Agree. I gotta go.
Me too. So remember, folks, the summary for all of this: stay patched so you stay secure.
Okay, so I want Steve to believe me that I was trying to finish. I think we just had too much fun on this episode, and Steve was hungry. So this is what the end of the show sounds like. Okay, I think she might have written one of the books that I read about him. I've read a bunch of books about him, and I'll definitely be checking this out. This sounds like fun. But yes, we have gone very long. I'm getting hungry. I gotta go.
Me too. So remember, folks, the summary for all of this: stay patched so you stay secure.
There we go.
I believe you.
Poor Steve, he was chewing his arm off. Now you guys are talking about breakfast casserole? Oh, Bart's been posting great pics on Mastodon. Yeah, he's really going crazy on Mastodon. It's fun to have him there. All right. Closing it out. So I've already done my chapter mark count. I've got 6. So you can start counting while I finish. Well, that's going to wind up this mammoth show for the week. Did you know you can email me at allison@podfeed.com anytime you like? If you have a question or a suggestion, maybe a dumb question like Chelsea had, you can just send it on over. Remember, everything good starts with podfeed.com. Want to follow me on Mastodon? Podfeed.com/Mastodon. Want to listen to the podcast on YouTube? Podfeed.com/YouTube. Want to join in the conversation? Join our Slack community at podfeed.com/Slack, where you can talk to me and all of the other lovely NosillaCast ways. Want to support the show on Patreon? Podfeed.com/Patreon like Richard. Or you can do a one-time donation at podfeed.com/PayPal. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, head on over to podfeed.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. I didn't take a big enough breath there at the end.
Ran out of wind, huh?
I did. And throw this. We
So
be slackers.
I only count. I mean, I count 7, and that's after removing
Okay, what am I missing?
vision aid.
One,
I don't
two,
know.
3,
Let's
4,
check.
5. Oh, no, you're right. It's 7.
Oh, it is 7. Okay.
Yeah. Good job.
1 had fallen below the line.
Well, yeah, it's scroll.
Yeah.
Didn't quite make it. And enthusiastic NosillaCast castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Yeah, I think podfeed.com/chat might take you to Discord.
Well, it takes you to a page in your website which ties to Discord. Yes, but
No, I
you
think
still
it
have
takes
to
you
log.
to Discord.
Not directly.
You're thinking podfeed.com/live. Try podfeed.com/chat.
All right.
I don't publicize it because it's a subset of live. Yep, takes you right to Discord. Bronchitis. Oh no. Hey, does she have a bad cough that keeps her awake at night? Okay, so I saw this TikTok. This woman said, she said, I've had this cough for 6 weeks, and my doctor said, there is no scientific evidence to prove that this works, but try eating 1 giant marshmallow right before you go to bed. There's something about like the glycerin or whatever coats their throat. I don't know, but it seems to work for people. The woman comes back a week later and she eats the marshmallow. She comes back a week later and she says, I don't know, but it worked. And for everybody who sent me nasty comments like, no, it's not going to rot my teeth because I brushed my teeth after I ate the marshmallow, you fools. And yes, my doctor tried cortisone. My doctor tried steroids. My doctor tried breathing treatments. My doctor tried an inhaler. We tried everything. We couldn't get it to stop. And the marshmallow worked. So
How big
I'm going
was
to
the
tell you.
marshmallow?
What's that?
Just a regular sized marshmallow, or
Big
huge
marshmallow.
one?
The big ones. The giant
Okay.
Stay Puft marshmallow.
Huh.
So next time I get a cough that's keeping me awake, I'm eating a marshmallow. I'm telling you. I got to find out if she'll try it.
So just one did the trick. She ate 1 marshmallow, cough gone.
That night.
And hasn't.
For the
Okay.
night. It's just to make you be able to stop coughing at night. I don't know if I don't know if it works during the day. That's a good question. Glycerin was one of the things in my granddad's homemade cough syrup, Kevin says, along with moonshine or anyway, I'm going to try it next time. There you go. Nice picture there. All right. Well, I am starting to upload the show. So
All right.
that must mean the show is almost over. Let me see. I'm going to do this.
I think it is.
Start production. Oh, wait. Do I want that? Hang on. I forget if I do that. I think I do it. All right. Everybody, have a great week. You guys are making me work on Super Bowl, so y'all better show up. We will have a live show on Super Bowl. Okay?
I
Steve's
may not be there.
Yeah, Steve, you just kick it off, and then you can go back and watch the game, but I don't care. So, yes, everybody be here. Game on.
Game on.
Probably should have said
Literally.
that in the show, but anyway. All right, everybody, we will see you next week. Goodbye. Goodbye,
Goodbye.
Rose. We should check on Rose. She hasn't been here in a while.
All right, stream is ending.